In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The book of Genesis is man's earliest known account of the world as we know it today. Was the world created some 5,000 years ago by divine initiative? Was it evolved for millions and millions of years? Is this the original site of the Garden of Eden between the Jordan Valley and Beit Sha'an? Or was it somewhere between the Tigris and the Euphrates? Did it really exist at all? The Bible, the unique embodiment of universal truth, the source of the world's three major religions. It was written here, in this sacred country.
There is no country in the world so rich in contrasts, or so varied in appearance and moods as the tiny land of Israel. The Holy Land offers an almost limitless range of attractions for visitors from all over the world, no matter what creed or culture. Here you behold the scenery and landscapes, the very places and ground where eternal ideals were first conceived. Here you may observe many of history's finest monuments. Ruins ravaged by time, magnificent fortresses erected by emperors and kings, roads and battlefields on which the fate of nations was determined. This is the land where no magic is required to turn back the wheels of time and look into the past. The birthplace of events that shaped the course of humanity. So join us on a journey through time, through landscapes, back into the history of mankind in the land of Israel, the Holy Land.
A solitary family settles by a well. Abraham, his wife Sarah, and their Egyptian maidservant Hagar. Later, Hagar will become the mother of Abraham's son Ishmael, the forefather of the Arab people. The desert is the Bedouins' natural abode. Their nomadic life is reminiscent of the way our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob lived over 3,000 years ago.
Retaining their old customs and traditions, the Bedouin live but a few miles away from the modern 20th century city of Beersheba, the capital on the crossroads to the Negev.
Like many places in Israel where archaeological discoveries are not uncommon events during construction work, Beersheba is named after an ancient site, the Seven Wells. Here you'll probably drink your milkshake where Abraham used to milk his sheep.
And when Abraham was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, thy seed after thee, in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee.
Abraham will become the father of two great nations, the Jewish people, and through his son Ishmael, the Arab people. As the midday sun beats down on the plains of Mamre, Abraham takes shelter underneath this oak tree, now 4,000 years old. Suddenly, 3 men appear. They are the Lord's messengers, sent to prepare Abraham and his old wife Sarah for the birth of a longed-for son, Isaac. This Byzantine church commemorates the event. The Dead Sea. The Lord has decreed the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham saves all of Lot's family but one. His wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Abraham's faith in the Lord is put to the ultimate test when he is ordered to sacrifice his beloved son Isaac on Mount Moriah. Leading the small group on an ass, his son and servants follow him on foot. The wood for the sacrificial altar is carried by Isaac himself. As Abraham lifts the knife to slay his son, an angel of the Lord calls unto him from heaven, saying, "Lay not thine hand upon the lad, for now I know that thou fearest God."
It is here on Mount Moriah, more than 1,000 years later, that the house of God is built, on the same spot where a man's faith was first put to divine test, and it is by no means the last.
Kiryat Arba lies south of Jerusalem. Kiryat Arba, also known as Hebron, is first mentioned in Genesis. These are the new quarters of the town. Abraham purchases the cave of Machpelah as a burying place for his beloved wife. Once acquired, it becomes the family vault of the patriarchs, Abraham and his descendants, Isaac and Jacob and their wives.
And Jacob dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. In this dream, probably taking place at the bottom of these ancient stairs in Bethel, Jacob is promised the land of Israel.
A few days after the momentous event, Jacob meets his future bride, Rachel, beside a well. This Bedouin woman is drawing water for her father's sheep, very much like Rachel when Jacob first saw her and fell in love.
Rachel, who dies unexpectedly at childbirth, is buried just outside of Bethlehem. The tragic story of her patience and devotion, her long-suffered barrenness and sudden death, have made her a symbol of motherhood throughout all the generations.
Jacob, who had 12 sons, is the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. One of his sons, Joseph, becomes a ruler of Egypt and the Pharaoh's favorite. When the great 7-year famine strikes the area, he invites his father and brothers to join him in Egypt. Joseph dies in Egypt. His coffin is taken by the children of Israel during the Exodus to be reinterred here near Nablus.